हरे कृष्ण, धन्य माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी।
Hare Krishna, everyone.
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna
माताजी,
Matadi, Pranamam.
प्रणाम।
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mataji will join sometime. We'll start reciting this. I think Mataji has joined.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी,
हरे कृष्णा माताजी,
Hare
प्रणाम
Krishna
प्रणाम
Mataji.
माताजी।
Pranams Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam.
हरे
That's
कृष्णा माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. So I think we finished the chapter today.
Yes, Mataji. It will be good actually. Only one sloka is bigger.
Okay. Thank you. So you all will read I think verse 39 has a purport, which is little bigger. So you'll read that one. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jyautirayet Nashtaprayasho Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, Chapter 7, verse 37. तथापि न प्रतिभूयाम गुरुभिः प्रार्थितं कियत् भवतां प्रार्थितं सर्वं प्राणेरर्थेश्च साध्यये. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. All of you are my superiors. Therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. Shri Badarayane Uvacha Tebhya evam pratishrutya Vishwarupo Mahatapaha Parahityam Vritaschakre Paramena Samadhinaha. Translation by Srila Shri Sukdev Goswami continued, O king, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Vishwarup, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. Puppet by His Divine Grace Shabad Ki Jai. The word samadhina is very important. Samadhi means complete absorption with an undiverted mind. Vishwarup, who was a most learned Brahmin, not only accepted the request of the demigods, but took their request seriously and performed the activities of priesthood with an undiverted mind. In other words, he accepted the priesthood not for material gain, but to profit the demigods. Such is the duty of a priest. The word pura means family and hita means benefit. Thus, the word purohit indicates that the priest is the well-wisher of the family. Another meaning of the word pura is first. A priest's first duty is to see that his disciples benefit spiritually and materially by all means. Then he is satisfied. A priest should never be interested in performing Vedic rituals for his personal benefit. Verse 39. You can raise your hand if you want to read this verse. Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam औशन अस्यापि विद्यया अच्छिद्यादान् महेन्द्रया वैष्णवाया विद्यया विभु. Madhumayi Krishna Kanta Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Aushanasyapi Vidyaya Achidya Adatmahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhuhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Revati Ratnangi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Surya Guptam Anushanyasyapi Vidyaya Acchedan Mahendraya Vaishnavaya Vidyaya Vibhuhu. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Shakti Avasti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranam. Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Oshansyapi Vidyaya Achidyadan Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Suramya Madhavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Pranam.
Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Aushanam Syapi Vidyaya Achidyadad Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Shubha Rao Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Aushanasyapi Vidyaya Achinadyadan Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Usha Devati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradivasam Shriyam Guptam Aushanasyapi Vidyaya Achityadan Mahendraya Vaishnavyaya Vidyaya Vibhuhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Venkat Narasimha Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Suradvisham Sriyam Guptam Ausanasyapi Vijaya Achidya Adatta Mahendraya Vaishnavaya Vijaya Vibhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Surya Prakash Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranamams. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Sriyam Guptam Aushanasyapi Vidyaya Achidyadan Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhuhu.
Thank you, Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranams Mataji.
Om
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Aushanyasyapi Vidyaya Achidhyadhan Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhuhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Madhu Soni Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranams Mataji.
Pranam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Oshanasyapi Vidyaya Achidhyadana Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidya Vibhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Pranandini Madhavi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Pranam Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisam Sriyam Guptam Osanyasyapi Vidyaya Achityadan Mahendraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Uttama Padma Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Suradvisham Shriyam Guptam Aushanasya Api Vidyaya Achidya Adatma Indraya Vaishnavya Vidyaya Vibhuhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Suradvisham, of the enemies of the demigods. Shriyam, the opulence. Guptam, protected. Ashanasya, of Shukracharya. Api, although. Vidyaya, by the talents. Achidya, collecting. Adat, delivered. Maha Indriya, onto King Indra. Vaishnavya, of Lord Vishnu. Vidyaya, by a prayer. Vibhu, the most powerful Vishwarup. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The opulence of the demons, who are generally known as the enemies of the demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Shukracharya. But Vishwarup, who was most powerful, composed a protective prayer known as the Narayan Kavach. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Mahendra, the king of heaven. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The distinction between the demigods, Devas, and demons, Asuras, is that the demigods are the devotees of Lord Vishnu, whereas the demons are devotees of demigods like Lord Shiva, Goddess Kali, and Goddess Durga. Sometimes the demons are also devotees of Lord Brahma. For example, Hiranyakashipu was a devotee of Lord Brahma, Ravan was a devotee of Lord Shiva, and Mahishasura was a devotee of Goddess Durga. The demigods are devotees of Lord Vishnu, Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Deva, whereas the demons, Asuras Tad Viparyavaha, are always against the Vishnu Bhaktas or Vaishnavas. To oppose the Vaishnavas, the demons become devotees of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Kali, Durga, and so on. In the days of yore, many long years ago, there was animosity between the Devas and the Asuras. And the same spirit still continues, for the devotees of Lord Shiva and Goddess Durga are always envious of Vaishnavas, who are devotees of Lord Vishnu. This strain between the devotees of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu has always existed. In the higher planetary systems, fights between the demons and the demigods continue for a long, long time. Herein we see that Vishwarup made for the demigods a protective covering saturated with a Vishnu mantra. Sometimes the Vishnu mantra is called Vishnu Jwar and the Shiva mantra is called Shiva Jwar. We find in the Shastras that sometimes the Shiva Jwar and Vishnu Jwar are employed in the fights between the demons and the demigods. The word Suradvisham, which in this verse means of the enemies of the demigods, which refers to the atheists. Srimad Bhagavatam elsewhere says that Lord Buddha appeared for the purpose of bewildering the demons or atheists. Supreme Personality of Godhead always awards His benediction to devotees. The Lord Himself confirms this in Bhagavad Gita 9 chapter verse 31. Kanteya pratijanihi na me bhakta pranashayati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Okay, verse number 40. Yaya Gupta Sahasraksho Jigye Asura Chamur Vibhu Tam Prahasa Mahendraya Vishwarupa Udaradhi. Translation by Shabapad. Vishwarup, who was most liberal, spoke to King Indra Sahasraksha, the secret hymn that protected Indra and conquered the military power of the demons. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports, the 6th canto, 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Indra offends his spiritual master Brahaspati. Om Agyan Timirandasya Gyan Anjana Shalakaya Chakshir Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahiyam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinbandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kantha Namastute. तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. नमामि विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे. Okay, let's do this quickly. This is more like a story. Verse 38, Shri Shukdev Goswami continued. Verse 37, all of you are my superiors. Therefore, although accepting priesthood is sometimes reproachable, I cannot refuse even a small request from you. I agree to be your priest. I shall fulfill your request by dedicating my life and possessions. Shri Sukdev Goswami continued, O king, after making this promise to the demigods, the exalted Vishwarup, surrounded by the demigods, performed the necessary priestly activities with great enthusiasm and attention. The opulence of the demons, who are greatly known as the enemies of the demigods, was protected by the talents and tactics of Shukracharya. But Vishwarup, who was most powerful, composed a protective prayer known as Narayan Kavach. By this intelligent mantra, he took away the opulence of the demons and gave it to Mahendra, the king of heaven. Vishwarup, who was most liberal, spoke to King Indra, Sahasraksh, the secret hymn that protected Indra and conquered the military power of demons. Okay, we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. We're reading from 6th canto, which is called as the prescribed duties of the mankind. And we are reading from a chapter 7, which is called as
Indra offends his spiritual
master.
Brahaspati. Very nice. Thank you. So we are towards the end of the chapter, but it is going to actually link to another pastime. And we are going to read the most auspicious Narayan Kavach, hopefully tomorrow, Krishna willing. So what has happened is that the demigods headed by Indra on the advice of Brahma have approached Vishwarup to help assume the priesthood so that he can give guidance as to how to win over the demons who have taken over their kingdom on the virtue of Indra's disrespect behavior towards his spiritual master Brihaspati. Right. So we learned that actually the protection comes from the Brahmanas. The protection comes from the spiritual power. The protection does not come from the material domains. So if we really want protection, then we have to take shelter of the spiritual energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we assume or if we stay under the material energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then we are never protected. Prabhupada, one lecture he gives in Hyderabad, and he talks about, I remember hearing it, that how many people come to him. He said, how many people come to me now and say that we feel so protected. It's like Sanath, like having a Nath or a master. But before that, it was a Nath, no master, like orphan. Okay, we think that, okay, I am not orphan. I have so much protection. I have this, I have that, I have this. But according to the Shastras, if we don't have shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we don't have any protection, any master. Okay, so it is better for our material existence, spiritual existence, overall well-being to just take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and assume that Krishna will protect. Okay. Now, in this particular pastime, what's unfolding is that Vishwarup, even though he was younger to demigods, still assumed and agreed to assume the priesthood of, for the sake of, for the sake of demigods. But he made it clear that sometimes priesthood is reproachable, and we heard about it yesterday, that how a Brahmin, when it becomes a priest, then they have to perform rituals or oblations on behalf of the Yajaman, right, dependents. And when they do that, they lose the power, their spiritual power. So sometimes it is reproachable, but he nevertheless agreed. So it looks like he actually agreed with the sincerity, and he actually performed the priesthood duties with utmost sincerity and composed. He's so powerful that he actually composed. He's not reciting. It says no, he composed. Most powerful, he composed a protective prayer. You see, even though he is a priest of the of the asuras but he actually was able to compose a protective prayer known as Narayan Kavach. So this is a very powerful prayer which we will read about. And it actually, by performing this prayer properly, Indra was able to withdraw the powers from the demons and take it back from them, and was reinstated in his place as the head of the demigods in the heavenly planets. Okay, so here Prabhupada is making a point that who is a deva, who is a demigod, who is always worshipping Vishnu. Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Deva. But who is a demon? A demon is also worshipping. Okay, there's a difference between demon and atheist. The demon is also worshipping, but they are anti-Vishnu, anti-Vaishnavas. What are they worshipping? They're worshipping the other demigods like Lord Shiva, Goddess Kali, Goddess Durga. Now, it's not like a good or a bad situation, or it's like what is the purpose behind the worship. Okay, so whenever somebody approaches a demigod and they are staunch devotee of that particular demigod, at least one thing is clear in the beginning. And what is that thing? That person has deep material desire. But nevertheless, if they worship the demigod and continue to worship, then somehow or other they also become devotee of Krishna at some point in their life. Maybe not this life, maybe not next life, but some point they get the attraction. Because demigods are actually devotees of Vishnu, so somehow they bring it. Okay, but in the beginning, we can assume that there is a respect that they're not atheists, they're not Mayavadis, but they are demons in the sense that they are not approaching Krishna directly. They are taking the detour. And this is not to say that who is superior and who is inferior in their worship, because that's not what the words are used here. Okay, try to understand what the words are used here. It is a quality, not superiority or inferiority. It's a quality. Being a demigod is a quality. Okay, any devotee, any Vaishnava who is a devotee of Vishnu is already a demigod. It's a quality. And anybody who is not worshipping Vishnu, or even worse, who is anti-Vishnu, or who places Vishnu at the same level with other demigods, like to consider the names of the Lord to be to be on the equal level as Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma, is one of the offenses of chanting the holy name, is demon. It's a demoniac quality. Okay, so we don't want to associate with that demoniac quality. So a person who's trying to be Krishna conscious is very smart. The intelligence is very sharpened, and the intelligence discriminates, right? Helps us to discriminate. Should I go there? Should I not go there? So this is going on from time immemorial. This is something which is not new. This happened, I don't know how many years ago this happened, but certainly a long time ago, when this happened, when this pastime of Indra insulting Brahaspati and then coming to the point of reciting Narayan Kavach given to him by Vishwarup and then taking away the opulence back from the demons. So we can choose that what are we going to do, but there are several disadvantages of just worshipping the demigod and becoming anti-Vishnu, and one of the disadvantages is nothing is permanent. Like nothing is permanent. The person is not permanent. The prayer is not permanent. The result of the prayer is not permanent, because the personality that they're worshipping is not permanent. So if we have to do something with our life, why don't we do something which is beneficial all the time? Like, why to stop midway? If we are going to put our energy, if we're going to put our time, if you're going to put our effort, why not put it properly with 100% attention? Is so important, right? If somebody goes to chant Hare Krishna, we're going to chant, we are putting our effort, we're going to put our time. Then why don't we put our 100% attention to it as well? Might as well do a good job, right? Like it's like somebody is working in an office for 8 hours a day for so many years, so many days of their life. Might as well do a good job at it. Why to do a bad job? Such precious element, which is called time in our life, is being invested. Do a good job. Try the best. That's all we can do, right? So if somebody has to worship somebody, then why not worship something, worship Vishnu? or Krishna, which is eternally beneficial. And Krishna says that Kantya Pratijani hi name bhakta pranashayati. My devotee never perishes. And I think we have discussed that. I had this realization once a long time ago that why Prabhupada is using this word perish. Pranashayati can also mean destroyed, right? Pranashayati can also mean uh, uh, diminished. Pranashayati can also mean banished or vanquished. The Prabhupada is very interestingly, translating it as my devotee never perishes. Yeah, I think we had that talk, right? And says I was thinking that why Prabhupada chose perish, why not something else as a meaning of the word in English? Yes, we had this. Can you hear me?
Yes, once we had told about it, Mataji. So, like
Okay.
fresh fruit perishes after some days, it goes stale. So that is perishable food. So, like that, I think.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so it's like perish is like if there is a fruit on the table, like apple, okay, and then the apple, as the day pass, it starts to perish. Perish means what? Like it starts to lose its quality of being fresh, nutritious, full of vitamins, tasty, not spoiled. So it loses all its qualities. What it had once, it lost, perishes. But when Krishna says, my devotee never perishes, means that a devotee of Krishna or whoever has worshipped Krishna in their lifespan, whatever they have done, whatever little service puja has been done, it doesn't diminish, it doesn't perish over the course of the time. It stays as it is. So it never perishes. So there's a special protection that is given exclusively to the devotees of Krishna because Krishna is Sachidananda Vigraha. That's why nobody else is Sachidananda Vigraha. So nobody else can give what Krishna can give because they don't have it. I think I'll stop here. Any questions, reflections, realizations, corrections?